27 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour. This is where I say good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, PD, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. It's Wednesday, the 23rd day of July, 2025. Gordon Joseph in your company this morning, as always, liking every minute of it. Hope you had a great night, all rested and ready to face the challenges of yet another new day, because you can bet your bottom dollar that it will be challenging. Life is not easy, you know. Life's got its ups and downs, and sometimes people give up just at the point of their breakthrough. I'm just saying thanks, just thanks for life. 26 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a good day to have a good day in a good way. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Let's see what the word of the day today. Well, before we do the word of the day, let me do this. Yeah, while I'm saying thanks, I'm saying it's Wednesday. Heavenly Father, on this beautiful Wednesday, we come together in gratitude for the blessings you've bestowed upon us. May your love and light guide us through this day, filling our hearts with hope, peace, and joy. Help us to extend kindness and compassion to everyone we meet and find strength in your unwavering support. Bless our loved ones with good health, happiness, and protection. Give us the wisdom to make choices that bring us closer to you and to one another. In the precious name of Jesus, amen. And he sent blessings, Wednesday blessings. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. And that's coming from Psalm 31, verse 24. Good morning, good morning. Thanks in advance. Yeah. Always remember, no matter what, once you're on the wake-up list this morning, it's indeed a good day to have a good day, in a good way. The word of the day today, that word is kindred. 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 And it means similar in kind or related. Similar in kind or related. Here's how we can use the word in a sentence. They discovered that they were kindred spirits with a shared interest. Kindred. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a good day to have a good day in a good way. Yep. Nice. Carriacou and PD Martinique, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you all are doing fine. I hope the weather is treating you okay. For the management and staff of the Kaiso Classic Calypso tent, I'd like to say thank you to all those who came out last night at the GBSS Auditorium and show some support and love to the Calypsonians as they faced the judges. I do believe that we will have the semifinalists today that we can run on you. Yeah, as soon as we do, we'll share them. 23 minutes on to 7.
Thank you for your healing. The things you revealing. Thank you for the degree. Day and night you study. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. Thank you, Lord. You already provided. Thank you, Lord.
The motivational tip of the day. Good morning, Nadisha. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Surround yourself with positive energy. Whether it's uplifting people, inspiring books, or motivating music, create an environment that feeds your soul. I cannot overemphasize this, all right? Surround yourself with positive energy. There's so much negativity out there. You understand what I'm saying? Surround yourself with positive energy. People who will uplift you. Get motivational, uplifting books and songs, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thank God in advance for the blessings that He will bestow upon you. Yeah. I am so thankful for life. You know what I'm saying?
Song is dedicated.
Thank the Lord.
Thomas King.
Debbie, good morning.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
You and the family, bro. How you doing?
Praise the Lord. Let's
Praise Him this morning. Shout out. You know, I'm missing my Facebook fans, man.
thank the Lord.
Don't worry, the time is coming when we can access that new page, right? When we can go live. You understand what I'm saying? Randy and Gina Isaac. Good morning.
Praise the Lord. Who kept you through
Teacher Eddie, good morning, bro. How you doing?
morning light?
Get well, bro.
Sing the songs of
Yeah. What's buzzing this morning? Let's see what's buzzing this morning.
who gets you through the challenges of another day.
Access to male surgical ward has been restricted amid concerns about security. In the region, a kidnapped woman in Trinidad and Tobago has been rescued. Amen.
It's only just
Internationally, Donald Trump accuses Barack Obama of treason over the 2016 election claims. In sports, Grenada moves into final preparation phase for NASAC Championship, which is set for the Bahamas. Windies, well, they went down again by 8 wickets this time.
you take. You gotta thank the Lord.
As Dre Russell made his final international appearance on home soil.
Twist and shake. Praise the Lord.
I don't know, man.
Praise the Lord.
I think you just gotta let West Indies fall by itself and rise by itself.
There's only
I don't think there's any point in getting emotionally attached about West Indies cricket at the moment, man.
just gone up on his name.
I reiterate my position that the failure of West Indies cricket has to do with administration, yeah? Not players.
That's my boy.
You know, man, 28, 29, Nicholas Puran retiring. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right. Something smells fishy here. Nonetheless,
Salon can do it.
I refuse to let my pressure go too high about that. Yeah?
It's only Jesus alone can do it, baby.
19 minutes on to 7 o'clock.
Do it for me.
The folks inside of La Poetry, good morning. Shiny, good morning to you. Yellow. All you doing good? Ambi. Daigo, what's up, bro? The folks at the River and Twine Distillery. All you good? Zico and Zaire. That music's sweet, boy. Anuale.
Not to thank the Lord.
Thank him. Yolan Swan and the team out there in Upper St. John and St. Andrew, good morning. Saying good morning to the Thomas family out there in Mount Horn.
Nothing impossible.
Pastor Rayburn, good morning to you and the entire congregation.
Whatever you need, I know he can do.
Auntie, good morning.
Get home.
And Stella.
Don't have
The folks inside of Monlong, Zeggy.
whatever.
Somebody looking for somebody, you know.
Good fix it.
Maribor Sab, good morning.
That's my
What's going on with this youngster in Sab now? Can Blair, good morning. Troll and Janice. Pipe, good morning. Bix and Shamin, the Dumont family.
only Jesus alone can.
Doreen Joseph and family, good morning.
Only Jesus alone can do.
You better believe that. Folks, the AM edition of News Sports and the Weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Jesus alone can do
Need to check your bill balance? Use the Grenlec mobile app. Open the Grenlec mobile app and tap the icon labeled Balances at the bottom of the screen. View your bill details, including your current bill balance, the due date by which you must settle your bill, the amount and date of the last payment you made. It's quick, easy, and available 24/7. Convenience at your fingertips.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits. Terms and conditions apply. Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Fly the Jones swoosh, it's Lava Man, and you already know the energy. It's all about GBN Spice of the Carnat Soca Mona competition. This year is going to be greater, bolder, more exciting than ever. And it's all about the quarterfinals on the 25th of July. The 31st of July will be the semi-finals and the August 8th finals. Artists, if you think you have what it takes to own the stage, now is your chance. Get there, be there, see you there. Lava Man, the real mad one. Fly the Jones, swoosh, GBN Spice of the Carnat Soca Mona competition.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Coming up in the news, access to male surgical ward restricted amid security concerns. In the region, kidnapped woman in Trinidad and Tobago has been rescued. Internationally, Donald Trump accuses Barack Obama of treason over the 2016 election claims. And in sports, Grenada moves into final preparation phase for Nassau Championship set for the Bahamas. And the Windies go down to Australia in the second T20 International in Andre Russell's final international appearance on the home soil. The details to these and more after these messages.
JKT Entertainment is bringing the heat. It's time to feel the sound and smell the burn. Bass and burn, cars and noise. The automotive experience of the year. July 26th and 27th at the National Stadium Car Park. It's 2 days of adrenaline-fueled madness with over 30 show cars from Trinidad, including Lethal Auto, MacGyver Sounds, and Simplicity Creations, plus Grenada's own beasts bringing the noise.
He'll say your back, come touch me then.
Early bird tickets are just $50. After that, it's $60. Get yours now at GoToFed.com and all authorized ticket outlets. Gates open at 11 a.m. on both days. Sponsored by Country Cold Store, SP's International, Campari, Stag, Rubis, Fast Print, Waggy Tea, GMC, Rainbow Janitorial, Eco Blue, Spice Style Automotive, and McIntyre Brothers. On Wednesday, August 13th, it's Carnival Encore, the ultimate cool down at the Grenada National Stadium. The cool down village opens at 6 p.m. Showtime 7 p.m. It's full stage frenzy with massive performances from Cass.
No sweetness, guy she weakness, so she
Voice.
But I'm a junkie, the people play
And many more. Tier 1 Chill Zone tickets are just $125. Upgrade to the White Oasis Premium Village for $350. Or take it all the way with access to the exclusive Carnival.
morning, everyone. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Heightened security measures have been implemented at the General Hospital following recent safety concerns linked to suspected gang-related activity near the facility. As a precaution, the Ministry of Health has temporarily suspended all visits to the male surgical ward. The move, which takes immediate effect, is aimed at protecting patients, staff, and visitors. Increased police presence and more rigorous screening at entry points have been put in place, and hospital officials are advising the public that they can expect possible delays upon arrival. While visits remain suspended, hospital staff are working to ensure a next of kin remain informed through alternative communication channels. The ministry has acknowledged the inconvenience caused and is appealing for the continued patience and understanding of the public. Updates will be provided via official platforms. Azil Antoine, a 21-year-old tour guide from Sab in St. Andrew, is expected to make his second court appearance today, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Antoine has been formally charged in connection with a firearm-related incident that took place last week. He faces 3 charges: possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm. The charges stem from an incident reported on Monday, July 14th in Sab in St. Andrew. Antoine was brought before the Grenville Magistrates Court on Thursday, July 17th, where he was remanded to His Majesty's prison. Ensuring schools across Grenada are better prepared to protect students and staff during disasters was the core of a 3-day training session for school principals at the Grenada Boys Secondary School in Tantin from the 16th to the 18th of July. It was hosted by the Ministry of Education with the aim of strengthening disaster risk management. With Grenada and the wider Caribbean facing increasing risks from hurricanes and other hazards, schools need to be ready to respond effectively, safeguard lives, and ensure that learning can continue even after disasters strike. To tackle this challenge, the training brought together 60 principals with active participation from district education officers and helped them develop comprehensive disaster management plans tailored to the specific needs of each school. The participants received hands-on training in understanding local disaster risk, assessing vulnerabilities, and designing practical response and mitigation strategies. Through group work, risk mapping, and planning exercises, each school principal developed a plan tailored to the school context, incorporating emergency procedures, risk reduction activities, and implementation strategies. The capacity building exercise was supported by the European Union through the European Union Resilient Caribbean Program, Eureka, managed by the Global Facility for Disaster Reduction and Recovery, and the World Bank. Eureka reflects the European Union's broader partnership with the Caribbean in advancing climate and disaster resilience. The National Agency for Disaster Management, NADMA, also played an active role through a dedicated presentation. That concludes the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, along with the sports and the weather, they're straight ahead. In the region, a kidnapped woman in Trinidad and Tobago has been rescued. We've got more in this OCM News report.
A woman kidnapped in Trinidad and Tobago has been rescued by the police, but 2 of the suspects are now dead. Janki Sati Karim was rescued last evening, days after she was snatched. The 44-year-old woman was rescued off the Toko Main Road in the east. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevaro told reporters last evening The woman was taken to the hospital for medical attention after she was freed.
Based on information and intelligence received, officers from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services sections, the multi-optional police section, the Special Investigations Unit and the Anti-Kidnapping Unit received intelligence about the location of kidnapped victim Sati Karim. As a result, intelligence-led operation went into play, and as the officers would have approached the house, the male suspect would have held Ms. Karim hostage. Was armed with a firearm, and sadly, the police officers had to use the use of force policy.
2 men connected to the kidnapping were killed, and Commissioner Guevara said the matter could have had a different outcome, but bandits continue to confront his officers with deadly consequences.
This is a scenario where we spoke about this recently held, or the state of emergency that I would have asked the government to call for, and they willingly agreed. These are the criminal gangs that have amalgamated themselves into this syndicate and were using crimes such as robberies, extortion, and in this case kidnapping, for the purposes of getting money so that they could fuel their rampant, what shall I call it, attack on the good citizens of this country. This is a scenario that should have played out totally different.
A total of 4 people have now been shot dead by police since the state of emergency was declared in the Twin Island Republic. And 5 men in Jamaica have been fatally shot during an alleged confrontation with police in Jacks Hill, St. Andrew. The incident is reported to have occurred yesterday afternoon. Up to last evening, the names of the deceased were not released. Assistant Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations, Hamish Campbell, said yesterday the incident occurred shortly before 1 p.m. He also said police reported that 4 firearms were seized.
The Commission were informed after midday today of a fatal shooting by the police in which it was reported that 5 men had been shot and killed by the JCF at a location in Jacks Hill. The full details are not yet known. The police report 4 firearms being recovered from the scene, shotgun, a rifle and 2 handguns. The 5 dead men are at the mortuary, and the investigation is still very much a live incident scene with both the police and Intercom, and then further details will be made available later.
184 people have been fatally shot by members of the security forces since the start of the year. And the Belize government says there has been what it calls an effective containment of the measles outbreak, with the country recording no new cases for more than 2 full incubation periods. The Ministry of Health and Wellness said yesterday the outbreak, which began in early April this year, was connected to international travel to Mexico and affected only unvaccinated individuals. It said a total of 34 cases were confirmed across the Corozal and Cayo districts, with 1 hospitalization and no reported deaths. According to the ministry, the outbreak was controlled due to the diligent public health measures of healthcare teams, the cooperation of affected individuals, and the support of the Belizean public.
And looking further afield, United States President Donald Trump has called for the arrest of former President Barack Obama, repeating unproven claims that the Democrats' administration intentionally misled the public in its assessment of the 2016 election. At Tuesday's Oval Office meeting with Philippine President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., Trump accused Obama, a longtime rival, of helming a criminal conspiracy. The leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, Trump told the media. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. President Trump has a history of spreading election-related falsehoods, including by denying his own defeat in the 2020 race. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump said he has reached a trade deal with the Philippines, charging it 19% tariff rate for goods it exports to the U.S., while U.S. goods will pay zero tariffs. The president announced the new agreement on Tuesday on his social media platform Truth Social, shortly after his meeting with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at the White House. The 19% tariff rate was just below the 20% threatened by Trump earlier this month, but above the 17% rate set in April when Trump announced what he called reciprocal tariff rates for dozens of countries. It matches the 19% rate announced for Indonesia and beats Vietnam's slightly higher rate of 20%. And finally, the global switch to renewable energy has passed a positive tipping point, and solar and wind power will become even cheaper and more widespread, according to two reports. Last year, 74% of the growth in electricity generated worldwide was from wind, solar, and other green sources, according to a report compiled by multiple United Nations agencies called Seizing the Moment of Opportunity. It was published on Tuesday. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. Grenada's 4x4 and 4x1 national relay teams have been in active preparation for the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletics Association Championships scheduled for Bahamas. The NASAC Championships is a continental track and field athletics event organized by the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association. The preparation comes on the heels of Grenada's all-round first-place finish in the junior meet recently held in Nicaragua. Additionally, the 4x1 squad recently set a new national record during their participation in the Barbados Grand Prix. And finally, cricket. Not so lovely cricket this morning, as we hear that wicketkeeper Josh Inglis slapped a swashbuckling 78 not out as Australia sealed a dominant 8-wicket victory over the West Indies in the second T20 International in Kingston last evening. The Tourists took a 2-0 lead in the 5-match series after chasing the 173-run target with 28 deliveries to spare, and that's courtesy of a 33-ball demolition from Inglis, who cracked 7 boundaries and 5 sixes. The West Australian, who was dropped on 9 and 60, produced a flurry of ramps, reverse sweeps, and pulls in a player of the match performance, while receiving support from Cameron Green, who clobbered an unbeaten 56 from 32 balls, his second 50 in the series. The duo combined for an unbeaten 131-run partnership, breaking the Australian record for the 3rd wicket. Now the scores in the match: West Indies, who batted first, scored 172 for 8, with Brandon King top scoring with a blistering 51 of 36 balls. Jamaican Andrew Russell scotched 36 of 15 in his last international on his home soil. That's all the sports we've got for you at this time. We'll have more sports during our luncheon edition and at our primetime newscast. Stay with us, folks. The weather forecast is up next.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
And folks, for the latest weather forecast, we now join forecaster Andre Charles at the forecast desk at the MBIA. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you and the listeners of general public. And here's weather for today, Wednesday the 23rd of July 2025. Currently, it's PM. Winds are from the east-southeast at 15 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 14.6 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature 28.5 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 82%. Yesterday's maximum temperature 30.9 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum 26.2 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 0.1 millimeter of rainfall was recorded, which brings the total for the month to 61.2 millimeters. Now to have a look at the forecast, that for today and tonight. Today we expect some generally fair conditions at first, with cloudiness increasing at times by late morning, with isolated showers and a low chance of isolated thunderstorm. Maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 7 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells. Hence a small craft advisory is in effect. Tides will be low at 9:15 a.m., high at 4:15 p.m., and low at 8 p.m. Sunset today at 6:35, rises more at 5:52. Just to repeat on the forecast, that for today and tonight. Generally fair at first, with cloudiness increasing at times by late morning, with isolated showers and a low chance of isolated thunderstorms. Maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius, and a small craft advisory is in effect. I'm Andrew Charles, report from Met Office. Thank you.
Andrew, just before you run off, I'm following up on that system, that weather pattern that was to the east of us yesterday. We were told that it would have traversed our area, although it was a little north, but what's the status with that?
Well, it's a tropical wave. There's a very strong tropical wave the models are forecasting. However, as they have indicated that as it continues moving west, conditions becomes very unfavorable, and that's what we are seeing right now. While we may get some showers as the day continues, but the level of intensity has significantly reduced.
Okay, so that's some good news for us.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, Andre. Have yourself a wonderful day now.
Thanks, take care.
All right. Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
It's back. It's back, and it's bigger, bolder, and funnier than ever. Old Mass 2025 is coming to the Grenada Youth Center on Sunday, July 20th from 3 p.m. Brought to you by the St. George's Lions Club, Spice Mass Corporation, and Grenlec. Bring the whole family for an afternoon of laughs, local entertainment, exciting prizes, and a special appearance by the Carnival Queen contestants. Tickets are just $40 for adults and $15 for children 12 and under. Available from any Lions or Leo member. Grenada Optical and Clear Vision. All Mass 2025. Sponsored by Demerara Mutual Life. I'm with Dem.
It's 7 minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news, a recap of the headlines. Access to male surgical ward restricted amid security concerns. In the region, kidnapped woman in Trinidad and Tobago has been rescued. Internationally, Donald Trump accuses Barack Obama of treason over the 2016 election claims. And in sports, Grenada moves into final preparation phase for NASAC Championship set for the Bahamas, and Windies 2-0 down to Australia. Australia winning the second T20 International by 8 wickets. Now that has been the morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for viewing and listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools and appliances for all residential, commercial and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
On Wednesday, August 13th, it's Carnival Encore, the ultimate cool down at the Grenada National Stadium. The cool down village opens at 6 p.m. Showtime 7 p.m. It's full stage frenzy with massive performances from Cass.
No sweetness, she weakness, so she
Voice.
But now I'm drunk in the people place,
and many more. Tier 1 Chill Zone tickets are just $125. Upgrade to the White Oasis Premium Village for $350. Or take it all the way with access to the exclusive Carnival Cabana Club. Email sunshinepromoeventsgd@gmail.com for more info. Carnival Encore.
I don't know about you, but I come here to fetch, come to play,
The vibes don't end until we say so. Wednesday, August 13th, National Stadium. Get your tickets now from gotofed.com. Brought to you by Sunshine Promotions.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
It's a busy world, and we all know the saying, time is money. Meet Candice and Oliver. They both have busy days ahead. Let's see how that goes. Candice is in a rush. Off to the bank. Again. Oh, looks like she didn't plan for traffic. Or this long line either. Now let's check in on Oliver. His morning starts a little differently. Using his phone, Oliver makes a peer-to-peer transfer and pays his bills, all while having his morning coffee. At the store, Oliver checks his finances with online banking. Candice? Still waiting. Back to Oliver. He stops at the bank to meet his loan officer. While waiting, he schedules a payment and makes a wire transfer. Wondering about Candice? Yup, still waiting. Candice could be like Oliver if she uses Co-op Bank's e-solutions. Make your day easier with Co-op Bank's swift, simple, and secure e-banking platform. Bank on your terms, from anywhere, at any time. Click, tap, done. Banking just got easier.
Welcome home.
Folks, it's 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. We now join Corporal Troy Paul of the Traffic Department of the RGPF. Good morning, Corporal Paul.
Good morning to you and a splendid morning to all your listeners this morning. It is grateful and always a pleasure for me to share information with the general public on a morning that's related to traffic and everything traffic. And this morning, I just want to report again that it is rather a quiet morning for motorists who travel along any part of the road in the Tri-Island state of Grenada. However, we have seen some movement along the Calvini Road as well, the Toby Road, which leads onto the Grand Anse Public Road. These are most of our busy roads as it pertains to traffic on a morning time, and it continues to be like that on a morning time. So persons traversing through any of our towns and all its adjoining roads can drive freely through any part of the Tri-Island state, and that includes Carriacou and Petit Martinique. However, for the past 24 hours, the accident state is 7 minor accidents, so we've seen a decrease from 11 to 7 previous day. So that is a slight improvement, which we hope that it will continue to go in that downward trend. But around this time, statistics have shown that it remains in that zone and continues to rise. But however, we want it to remain around that or even decrease. But for that to happen, we must continue to implore on all our drivers to drive safely. Please drive safely, and I will continue to ponder this every morning as I report for drivers to drive safely. We continue to have traffic disruption along the River Road Public Road, where that road is temporarily closed to motorists, and that's as a result of that road closure. It's built a little congestion along that road on a morning time. So persons, if you were traversing along the River Road Public Road, remember you would not get past the Humpback Bridge if you're coming from either, especially the Grenville direction. You would have to go around the Humpback Bridge and along the Queen's Park Ring Road. And persons coming from the St. George's, the Melville Street direction, you will have to go around that ring road and go up to Monkrush and onto Mungay Public Road to your destination. So please, drivers, motorists, be mindful of that temporary road closure which causes us some disruption. Also, work continues along the Kialis, Point Saline and Morris Bishop highway, and as a result, it will facilitate the pipelines for the Narasa Safe project. So persons traversing along that road expect some delays, and there are a few places where we see a lot of work is going on, so drive safely along those areas and kill your speed. This morning I just want to touch a little on driving on licensed vehicles. So far we've seen a lot of vehicles are still being driven on the road unlicensed. Persons, if you have not licensed your vehicle for the year yet, all the periods ended in June, but we still have some who are in garage and so on. But we have still some delinquent drivers still, because their vehicle may not be real roadworthy, still take the risk and drive those vehicles, and it is a danger because most of those vehicles are uninsured, and some of the times unlicensed drivers drive them. So we want to encourage these persons, get your vehicle roadworthy, come to the traffic department with an insurance policy, get a permission, go to the licensing authority and have your vehicle licensed and inspected for that year, and so that you can be legit on the road for the carnival season. So persons, if you have not left home as yet, please do so as we get closer to the 8 o'clock hour. Expect a little bit of traffic build-up in most of the areas. So get cracking and let's leave home so that we can get to work safely and on time. And the question we ask every morning to drivers and motorists:
if you're texting,
then who's driving?
Who's driving? Corporal Paul, have yourself a great day. Regards to your entire team and the force by extension, and continue your great works.
Thank you very much to you and your entire team at the GBN. Have a blessed day.
Oh, thank you. Folks, that was the traffic report. Compliments the traffic department of the RGPF and the Grenada Broadcasting Network.
Quartz presents their 2025 appliance event, Be Inspired, at all Quartz stores nationwide. Save big on select appliances, plus free gifts with purchase. Buy a washer and get 20% off any dryer. Plus, get more when you shop on credit with 10% cash back and free delivery on purchases of $5,000 and over. So don't miss your chance to be inspired at the Quartz 2025 appliance event, only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends July 24. Conditions apply.
Remembering our past, reclaiming our roots, empowering our future. On August 1st, Grenada will rally with the global African diaspora to celebrate Emancipation Day.
Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power.
Let us bring down the power of freedom as Grenville comes alive with exciting cultural performances, exhibitions, food, fashion, and great speeches on August 1st. The day celebrations commence at 6 a.m. with an emancipation breakfast at the Grenville car park. At 4:30 p.m., the traditional mass bands will assemble at Dunfermline and head for Grenville, while the school marching bands will leave Progress Park at 5:30 p.m. and parade down to Soubise for the spectacular Flambeau March into Grenville at 6:30 p.m. At precisely the stroke of 8, the spotlight shifts to the Grenville bus terminal with an action-packed program of cultural presentations from the National Performing Company, Spiceland dancers, Cultural Train, Lion Pride, Tivoli drummers, spoken word poets, and top local calypsonians. There will also be a special reenactment of the Emancipation Proclamation. So put on your African wear and come to Grenville in your numbers on August 1st and bring down the power of love and freedom as we celebrate our emancipation. Buses available nationwide. Contact your parliamentary offices.
Wednesday, August 6th, concept events together with Flatlands Park Ship and Print present Pre-Day Black and Bougie. Talprey celebrates with all his friends. This is Pre-Day featuring the Viking, Bungee Guard, Lion Lions, and the Viking. Problem Child, GBM Neutral, Full Blow, I in a good spirit, I drink in a good spirit, Kute, put on something sweet, and a command performance by the Jab Boss himself, Calprey. We coming through. People coming through. Top international DJ. The Grenada National Stadium. Gates open at 10 p.m. Showtime 11 p.m. All early bird tier 1 tickets have already been sold out. Grenada, get ready. This is Pre-Day Black and Bougie. They go after
A natural disaster can change your life in minutes. Preparation is the best protection for your family and business. Prepare now. Create a disaster plan and make sure everyone knows what to do. Store water, non-perishable food, and medication. Remember basic emergency supplies such as batteries and flashlights. Trim overhanging trees. If trees near power lines are unsafe to trim, call Grenlec at 237 for assistance or advice. Install surge protectors to safeguard your electrical devices against outages and intermittent surges. Make sure your generator has an isolation switch. It will prevent power from feeding to our lines and electrocuting others. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
All right, folks, it's 25 minutes gone past 7 o'clock, and with me this morning, I have a known face, a known gentleman. He's no stranger to GBN, and as a matter of fact, if one morning I cannot make it, I can call him and say, come host the show. That's how familiar he is with, with us here at the GBN. However, this morning, in his capacity as chairman of the board of directors for the Cultural Foundation, that's the body that is charged with the responsibility for spearheading the Emancipation Celebration, Mr. Christopher Derricks, or Chris? Which one?
Well, as I normally say, if you're my mother and you vex with me, you could say Christopher. But generally, my friends refer to him as Chris. Good morning, Gordon. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always, always. How have you been?
I think good. I feel good. I have a positive spirit.
Yeah.
I'm kept busy, and so on, and that's always a good thing.
You got sufficient rest after breaking point?
Breaking out,
yeah.
There never is enough rest, but I say that's what keeps me going, challenges.
Right.
So breaking out was a gratifying experience. I feel good for it, but there are other things, other pots on the fire right now.
Yeah. I watched Robert last night, and even last night he's hosting the Calypso show, and I'm just seeing Robert with "You love me and you're haunting me."
Yes. Robert is something of a progeny when it comes to theatre. It comes to him naturally.
Yeah.
And but you see, he has been threatening to enter the Calypso competition for about 20 years now.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't, kept his threat.
Yeah, he made a little progress last year, but he negated it because last year he did one song. And so this year we were expecting he was going to give us two, but this year he didn't give us half.
But he had a song there. He have a song there that right and waiting to be sung and produced.
Yeah, it's time.
He needs to be encouraged.
As Sheldon Douglas says, it's just a matter of time.
All right.
Anyways, this morning we're here to talk, and a lot of conversations are being held word on the emancipation now that it's official, a public holiday and so forth. How are plans going along with the celebrations for that?
The plans are going good, but I think it's important, Gordon, to give our listeners a sense of context. How did this actually begin? And I want to start maybe by talking about the significance of emancipation. The Emancipation Day is the day when the British read a proclamation on 1st of August 1834 saying that the chattel slaves in the British Empire were free. So this included Grenada. Of course, it took 4 years before the enslaved Africans were finally allowed to leave the plantation. And that 4 years we know as the period of apprenticeship, in which historians Auger and Gordon say it was a time when the plantocracy, in collusion with the British government, sought to squeeze out the last juices out of the formerly enslaved Africans. And so that day was the start of a long march to freedom, because, we are free. We are free from chattel slavery. But the march continues because there are different kinds of emancipation. And as I have often said, I quote Bob Marley, you can be free, but your mind is enslaved. And
mental slavery.
Yeah, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And so this is part of the process that we're involved in at this point in time. While we celebrate leaving the plantation, we need to get the plantation out of our heads as a people. So Grenada represents a country, that is, if you look at the demographics, 80% have African roots. And, around the Caribbean, emancipation is celebrated in Jamaica. They have found a creative way to combine the celebration of emancipation with that of independence. You see, August 1st is emancipation, but August 6th is the Jamaica independence. So they have a big bash, a series of events.
A whole 5 days.
Yeah, but if you're talking about days, let me go to Barbados. Barbados starts in April.
Yeah.
The 14th of April with the celebration of the slave rebellion led by Bossa, who is a national hero.
Yeah.
And they go from April into August, and it covers, even Cropova and Marcus Garvey, Bode, and of course Trinidad. And Trinidad is interesting because in 1985, the Prime Minister of Trinidad, Mr. Chambers, he decided that Trinidad would be the first country in the Caribbean to make August 1st a holiday. So we are aligning Grenada by making August 1st a holiday. We are aligning Grenada with the rest, many of our counterparts and colleagues in the Caribbean,
and rightfully so. That's anyone with a logical thinking mind would see the need for that. At least I hope.
Well, and there's been some debate. Some people have elevated commercial considerations over the current arrangement. But hats off to SEDU, St. Andrew's Development Organization. They have carried this torch ablaze for years, and they have found a way to annex the Rainbow City Festival with the Emancipation celebration. In fact, it was celebrated on the first Monday in August. So there's a change, and I would call it a transformative change in terms of how we celebrate independence. I must tell you that
emancipation.
I keep saying independence, right? Because I see it as part of a continuum, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I must tell you that last year, August 1st, the Cultural Foundation of Grenada staged an event. We had a march from the Carnage at a point where enslaved Africans were offloaded. That's in front of the public library there. And the march, we went into the market square where there was a plaque in commemoration of
the plaque right street light there.
Right, marking the whole slave experience, and later on in that day, we actually had a public lecture on emancipation, and we were graced with the presence of our Prime Minister, who challenged us challenged the Cultural Foundation along with the Reparations Committee, Grenada Reparations Committee, and the St. Andrews Development Organization, and the National Celebrations Committee. All parties are working together now to plan the execution of the celebration this year. But the Prime Minister challenged us to come with a justification for making August 1st a holiday. And we rose to the challenge. The Cultural Foundation prepared a concept note explaining why, let us bring our emancipation celebration in alignment with our, with the rest of the, English-speaking Caribbean by and large, and through the intervention also of the Minister for Culture, Honorable Adrian Thomas, and we had even started discussion with the previous Minister for Culture, Honorable Ron Redhead, and so on. So the government responded by saying, okay, we will make August the 1st a holiday, and this is where we are at this point in time. It was largely to the work of the Cultural Foundation of Grenada in collaboration with other partners.
I mean, I think it's wisdom to have incorporated SADO into it, because SADO has been, as you rightfully said, has been holding that flag with that flambeau march religiously for a number of years. But the holiday would also, because it means that the first Monday in August is now no longer a public holiday, right?
Well, that's how the arrangement is, as far as I understand it. But the community of vendors, creatives, and so on, people who have to contribute to this have embraced the arrangement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm happy that SADO saw the wisdom in it and realized that, the Rainbow City Festival is, a sort of pillar of the economic fabric of the Grenville and surrounding communities, but we look at it from a more nationalistic perspective, that, Emancipation Day is of more significance, and that. So kudos to you all for collabing and getting that sort of outcome. I do hope that, the Grenadian people, those who oppose, get to understand the concept behind it, because around, as you rightfully said, around the English-speaking Caribbean, that's how it's done. Emancipation is a big thing.
Well, everywhere, these commemorations are happening. There's always a debate, and sometimes, certain institutions have to take the lead and take the licks for it by people who are averse to change. There are some people who want to get stuck in the comfort zone, even if it doesn't make sense, right? There is still a debate in the United States. The U.S. on the 19th of June 1865, slavery was abolished. And so it was called, the June 19th has now been collapsed into what they call Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, yes.
You understand?
Yes,
right?
Juneteenth.
But there's still a debate now in the States as to whether or not, Juneteenth should be some kind of holiday and so on, So there'll always be pushback. I think one has to be forward-looking. And this is all about asserting your sense of identity. In fact, when the actual motto and that we're using now is there's a whole message about a certain identity, remembering our history, and then rediscovering our roots and things like that. That is what it's about, right?
Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten the clearer understanding of the concept that led us to August 1st as a public holiday, now that day, what can we expect on that day?
Well, we can expect, not even on that day, the day before. And I must say that, there was a press lunch a week ago, in which Senator Britton, Mr. Livingston Nelson, and Dr. Angus Martin, they had a press briefing explaining, what the general public could expect this year. And since then, we have had an intensive public education We have a quiz, trivia quiz going on. Every day there's something in the media, something like, for example, and in social media. Did you know that there were 23,600 enslaved Africans at the time of emancipation? Did you know there are so many slave ships landed on the Carnage in the period, when slavery was being practiced and so on. So that is to sort of stimulate public interest and to educate. And then there are a number of appearances like what I am doing now, and other people like the CEO of the foundation, members of the board of directors of the foundation, members of the reparations committee, appearing in various media, explaining the importance of emancipation. A whole program of public information has been carried out by GIS, Government Information Service, and people like Sherian Noel should be commended for the work that she has been doing in that regard and so on. So we come into the point now where on the 31st of July, the evening before Emancipation Day, there will be an interdenominational prayer and worship in the Grenville bus terminal, right, from 6 o'clock that evening. And we are also and we have invited several different religious groups with different rituals, different forms of worship. So it's a unifying event in that respect. On the actual day of emancipation, from 6 o'clock in the morning, there is going to be an emancipation breakfast in Grenville. So you go to the Grenville car park, and people coming from party who, it's carnival season, so there are a lot of fete going on and so on. So people will be looking for things to do. To places where they can go and have a breakfast early in the morning. They descend on Grenville that way. And so they will not be disappointed. They'll have an opportunity to, take care of, their
cravings. Their morning cravings.
Then we move into the afternoon session. At 4:30 p.m., there's a call time for the traditional mass bands, Shortney, Apache, Veco, Jab Jab, to assemble in up in Progress Park and Dunfermline. Again, also there'll be the marching bands from secondary schools who are part of it. There's a parade that will move from Progress Park down to Sobeys. And from Sobeys, there will be a kind of coming together at Chilaxin in that area there. And the Flambeau March into Grenville will happen at 6:30.
In the PM?
6:30 p.m. Right? 6:30 p.m. From there, it proceeds to the Grenville bus terminal. And at 8 o'clock that evening, this is when the official ceremony at the bus terminal commences. So there'll be an official opening ceremony. There'll be speeches by public officials. We expect a message from the African community in Grenada because they are participating. The Nigerian community, they are going to be participating in the Flambeau March also. They're coming out in their numbers. They will be participating in the food aspect, and that will be part of the experience. There's an exhibition that will be running in the evening. Also, so the African exhibits will be there along with food. We expect remarks from the Minister for Culture, from the Prime Minister, and so on. So this is the opening ceremony at the car park, bus terminal, and then there'll be a reenactment of the Emancipation Proclamation. It's a very interesting thing because a proclamation was read, by the British, saying, okay, you guys are now free to go. But at that time, you're free. Where are the resources? Yeah. The former slave owners were compensated for the enslaved Africans
being freed.
Yes, and being freed. All right, but the enslaved Africans who had been working without pay, they received no compensation.
We have to call on Ali Gill. Ali.
Ali Gill is part of the whole ensemble that is pushing this whole building public awareness and the reparations call and so on. But we are going to have a former slave, a character depicting a former slave, rebutting the Emancipation Proclamation as is delivered by the British representative. So we have that reenactment as part of the whole thing. And then there's a whole cultural segment, performances, national folk group, the Indian community, spoken word, poetry, Lion Pride, big drum dancers, we have Calypsonians performance, Spiceland dancers, culture train, Tivoli drummers, their performances by Scholar, I understand, and Wizard and Prestige Band and so on, and Kurt Allen is also part of the program. So this is only when at the end of this week there'll be adjustments to the program because it's being consolidated. But these are some of the things that one can expect at the cultural event.
Okay, so now that the event has been brought forward, what kind of responses are you getting from the community, especially the St. Andrew and the rural community? What sort of responses are you getting?
Well, there's a lot of excitement. If you're living in Dunfermline,
that's my home. Huh?
Well, all right.
That's home.
Well, I mean, all right.
So you're starting by Solomon's shop and go down.
Well, I don't know precisely where in Dunfermline. Okay. Yeah, so next thing I say that, and Solomon called me Vex. You know, Sam. All right, but we're starting in Dunfermline, and if you're living in Dunfermline and you're anywhere along the route, and maybe you're an elderly person, and you don't want to make it, to go through the trouble of making a way to Grenville, this is some way of the celebration reaching you.
Yeah, you can stand by the road.
In the very village where you live.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So it has stimulated excitement. We get a lot of calls from people who want to know about the details of the program and people who want to get involved in some way or the other. So we anticipate there's going to be a large crowd at the event, and some buses will be laid on, and that is being activated through the parliamentary offices throughout Grenada. So people who want to attend the event, will be able to get there. If they don't have transport, there is this arrangement for them.
Okay, sounds awesome. Now that I'm going to bake 2 cakes with 1 egg.
Right.
I'm in the conservation business, so I don't kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I bake 2 cakes with 1 egg.
Well, if you're conserving, you're not supposed to kill birds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not killing birds. I'm baking 2 cakes.
Right.
There is this current debate, if you want to call it that, sort of controversial for and against the amendments, the bills that are being proposed as it relates to the swearing of allegiance. To me, that ties in nicely with this emancipation and everything like that, because we still swear allegiance to the king, its heirs and successors and so forth. What's your personal take on this?
Well, there are different, I go back to where I started, there are different forms of emancipation. Okay? Some people will say, give me the devil, I know. So they're comfortable staying within the cocoon or within the confines of their socialization. This is a constraining environment. It doesn't allow people to grow and develop self-confidence and break into new frontiers. And Grenada has to grow. And this growth is not just in building physical infrastructure. This growth must take place in a sense of national pride and a certain Grenadianness and so on. And in different societies, they have different walls to break through. In some societies, there are tremendous gender disparity and the suppression of women. So the emancipation in one country might not be the same for another. In some countries, a big part of the drive to emancipation might be gender equality and so on. In other places, it might call for a religious tolerance, an open and tolerant environment where people can practice their faith, and so on. So part of their emancipation might be religious freedom. So we have different walls to break through in terms of asserting independence, and in our case, we need to be proud of our blackness. We need to appreciate and understand our history. We need to assert, right, our self-belief. We need to believe in ourselves and so on. So when we keep swearing to the King of England, or the Queen as it were previously, then we are perpetuating a kind of mental slavery. And we have to break out of it, right? And there's no reason in this 21st century for us to, take comfort in swearing to the vestiges of colonialism. There's no justification, and I think people need to wake up and understand that this is the time to do, to take these kind of steps. It is symbolic, but it's also profoundly important. So I say full speed ahead.
Yeah. Do you think, as we wrap, do you think that could be a bold step into breaking away from that mental slavery?
Well, this certainly is a significant step. But it's we have to consolidate upon that. So after swearing, loyalty, right, to the Grenadian people, right, and to Grenada, then what next? How do we build upon that in terms of crafting a national identity? Are we going to institute programs for building that kind of awareness in our institutions, right? Are we going to have that kind of re-education of our people? Are we going to elevate our local sportsmen and statesmen and writers and musicians? Are we going to hold up these people? Are we going to roll out a package of national heroes? Who are our heroes and so on, rather than King Charles, all right? So it's a process, and I think that's only the beginning of asserting a national identity.
I don't think it could have been said better.
Thank you, my brother. So. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, but I'll still give you a minute to just, remind the people of the Emancipation Day celebration, where and how.
Okay, so this year we are going to transform the way emancipation is celebrated in Grenada. And we are starting with where we have started, with a number of public education initiatives after the press launch a week ago. But on the 31st of July, there is an interfaith, interdenominational prayer and worship at the Grenville bus terminal. And we're expecting plenty people to show up. On the next morning from 6 o'clock, there is an emancipation breakfast at the Grenville car park. And then from 4:30 in the afternoon, there we begin a series of events, starting with a parade of traditional mass bands, as well as the marching bands from secondary schools, taking it down to Subies, and this is followed by a flambeau march at 6:30 in the evening to the Grenville bus terminal, and at 8 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, the formal session begins at the bus terminal with speeches by public officials, but also, presentation of cultural performances. We expect it's going to be a very entertaining evening, and on the fringes of that, there's the exhibition and food and so on, everything that makes it a total package. We are thankful that St. Andrew's Development Organization, SADU, has continued to fly this flag and bear this torch about independence.
Emancipation.
I keep saying independence, right? We're also thankful that the Grenada Reparations Committee are on board. We're thankful to people like Mr. Dr. Angus Martin and Mr. Ali Gill. They have been very steadfast in their support. We are thankful to the National Celebration Committee led by Ms. Jackie Alexis and so on. And we are thankful to the Board of Directors of the Cultural Foundation and the staff of the Grenada Cultural Foundation who have carried this thing in a big way over the years also. So it's a collaboration, and it's going to be a successful event. We have received the support of the Minister for Culture, Honorable Adrian Thomas, and Senator Britton also, but we're also thankful that the Prime Minister challenged us on August 1st last year to come with an expanded concept and a justification for the staging of Emancipation Celebration, and we're thankful that they have responded positively to our concept paper and our recommendation.
All right, so folks, you heard it, and I hope that you participate in the activities that are forthcoming. And I just want to take the chance and say thank you, Chairman, Mr. Chris DeRiggs, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the National Cultural Foundation.
Well, we normally say the GCF,
Grenada Cultural Foundation. And I'm going to call Ali.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have Ali Gill and Dr.
Angus
Martin on my program before that. So Ali, expect a call from
I'm sure they'll be quite willing to do so, and they'll be appearing in different media also.
Yeah. All right, so Mr. Lyrics, thank you very much for sharing with us, and good speed.
Thank you, Gordon, and good luck with your defense of your Calypso Monarch title this year.
Thank you. I wouldn't disappoint you.
You understand? You hold it until Robert comes in.
Well, if Robert wins, I win. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Right.
Folks, that's it for this segment of the conversation. We take a commercial break. We'll come back and have a brief conversation with the time left. We'll be back after this.
If you are interested in reliable and efficient shipping, then look no further. Carib Connects is the one for you. Our main office is situated in Miami, which boasts one of the most advanced facilities with branches in most of the Caribbean islands, including Grenada. At Carib Connects, we offer you a timely and hassle-free shipping experience. Whether it's by air or by sea, our logistic team will ensure that you have a superb experience. We can take care of your small packages, full container loads, vehicles, dangerous goods, hazmat materials, and special loading. Our local branch is situated on the Carnage, right next to the fire station. Come in and have a word with our experienced staff. They are more than equipped to assist you with anything that you would need. We open from Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also get information at info@caribconnects.com. At Carib Connects, we are connecting you with excellence.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
JKT Entertainment is bringing the heat. It's time to feel the sound and smell the burn. Bass and burn, cars and noise. The automotive experience of the year. July 26th and 27th at the National Stadium Car Park. It's 2 days of adrenaline-fueled madness with over 30 show cars from Trinidad, including including Lethal Auto, MacGyver Sounds, and Simplicity Creations, plus Grenada's own beasts, bringing the noise.
He'll say you got come touch me then.
Early bird tickets are just $50. After that, it's $60. Get yours now at GoToFed.com and all authorized ticket outlets. Gates open at 11 a.m. on both days. Sponsored by Country Cold Store, SP's International, Campari, Stag, Rubis, Fast Sprint, Waggy Tea, GMC, Rainbow Janitorial, Eco Blue, Spice Style Automotive, and McIntyre Brothers.
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, resilience and transformation, enhancing Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation in an era of global uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
Distributed by Echo Blue Limited. Visit us on the Lansopine Main Road or call 405-4818.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Claim your keys, open the door to more than you imagined before. New home, fresh start, make moves and play it smart. Expand, invest or renew. ACB's right there with you.
With ACB Home Advantage Mortgages, you get up to 100% financing, reduced fees, and a $100,000 unsecured credit card.
Claim your keys, open the door to more than you imagined before with ACB.
Terms and conditions apply.